the consistent Blight player for this team. Already in here, we have Cahill, Benny, I can't even, sorry, Fatme, apologize, and Ray. Incredibly strong survivors. Very excited to see how this is going to go. I'm still joined by Tavi. I would love to see what you have to think.
Well, at the end of the previous series, I did make a little bit of a pun, saying that it was going to be an adrenaline-packed set. But anyway, it's fine. My jokes are really bad anyway. As we do take the first chase onto Benny, Mr. Team Captain, or Mrs. Team Captain of Oppenheimer. They're going to get the pallet drop safely, and I feel like they're playing this pretty well, Chief. Like, usually for Blight, if you don't get a tag within a few rushes, like we see Weary just fatigue. Yeah, it's just not good, and it's just recognized that. It's going to leave the chase off Benny, try and chase out a mispositioned survivor instead, and that is a little bit of an S flick onto Ray, who I believe is L. Like L or something. We had some confusion previously last week, but yeah, there's going to be Shack Pallet down anyway from Ray / L, and it's just gonna continue the chase. I think bounce landing should be in effect, and it's actually been baited out. Okay, hold on, really good patience there from Hania, and this is a really good first chase. I think, Chief, looking at the percentages, I would assume that the mid-gen is gonna get doubled at this point. I guess maybe not though. I guess maybe not, because they've just rotated off. And now Cahill is on the gen. It's actually still going to pop, even though the double was a bit late. So it is not a bad start for our survivors, but apart from that, there's really not much gen pressure across the board. And they've also given away a basement hook for Weary, so yeah, it's still adrenaline packed, I guess, but it's kind of calmed down a bit.
Yeah, for sure, Tavi. I mean, getting that mid-gen out of the way for our survivors is so important. I mean, look at our gens now. We have this wonderful 3-3 split. We didn't have to worry about a 4-gen on either side of the map at all, and that's what's so good about having that mid-gen. If you get it done, it looks so good for the survivors, but if you aren't able to for that first chase, is where things can be a little problematic. But I mean, Oppenheimer have done exactly what they needed to. Those sets of chases from Benny and Ray collectively were more than enough, and look at this. Ray is already off that hook. We have the BT to work around. There are unfortunately not as many pallets here as we probably would like, so Ray's gonna have to pull out something a bit magical as we have to play around this filler bot mid. We are gonna drop it. Weary is going to fake the break and start rushing onto our survivor. He's going to rush 3 times 4. Now, we might not be getting this down, Tavi. Actually, we just do a wonderful flick to end that set of rushes. Ray on the ground yet again. Our second chase, nowhere near as good as our first. That's another basement hook, but I believe it was Cahill who got the unhook. That is our Delhi player, and look at that build. They've got a lot of reset potential. So, if we do now see Weary stray to that top side of the map, potentially looking to interrupt these gens, which we know one at main is about to pop. We're not even going to, actually. We're going all the way to 5. We see Fatme here. We know that this gen is being worked. We're going to get that pop on it. If Ray is unhooked now, it could be problematic, but I think we will not be falling for Weary's bluff as he does head back to Shack. We are not going to be getting that pull. We do have a survivor in Shack. They'll potentially set up for it. It is Fatme, actually, who is zoned away from 5. Gonna have to not go down here. Being down on top of that hook would be very problematic. Forcing that unhook onto Ray would be how you get a 4K if you are Weary. The longer he's able to sit there, the better. A last second trade from Delhi would be beautiful, but I mean, I'm not too sure if Weary's going to be able to get this tag. He does 4-3 rushes. It's all the way edge 3, and look at that. Ray is off the hook. We might even be able to get a reset. We do indeed. Look at that. That will make it, and botany stacking means the reset comes through. Ray has 2 health states to work with, and we're not going to get tagged inside of Shack because we are able to make the window, and Weary just missed that rush. So we have, oh my word, we've managed to slip through. Cahill not able to make that body block, but look at this. Cahill is still following this chase. We're going to block Weary now, prevent him from being able to get as much distance as possible. We're going to see Ray have to play all the way to the top side of the map. We only have 2 generators remaining on this side of the map, which is exactly where we need to be, but more than ever we needed this chase to last, and with Ray on the ground, that is not going to be the case. Luckily, Cahill is able to get that self-reset, meaning we are at the 3v1 with all survivors. Oh no, we are not. I didn't realize Fatme was injured, but nevertheless, the reset is coming through now as we did manage to double out this gen all the way at 10. 3v1 at 2 gens isn't too surprising, all things considered. Tavi, I must say, with all survivors reset, it's still looking like it could go either way from this point, but how do you think the game has been so far?
I think Weary managed to transition that start really well. First chase wasn't really that incredible from either side, but that basement hook was really detrimental for survivors. Like it just kind of zoned Ray, our tunnel out, into a bad spot. And now with 2 gens remaining, now Fatmi's in chase as well. Around main, not a good palette, but it's difficult to play around this blood. So yeah, I don't know, it's difficult.
Yeah, it is going to be a bit difficult. We do also get that stun Fatme is going to be able to use that little bit of extra distance to not make much. Unfortunately, we don't have many parts around it. Unfortunately, bump from Weary does catch out Fatme, and that is him on the ground. We do see 2 gens being worked. They're not too high progress. We're going to have to leave those. Fatme will be getting hooked mid, which is definitely not where you want him to be. Now, we're in a bit of a predicament, right? We know Benny's top. I'm going to guess that Cahill is all the way bottom. Yeah, all the way at 8, as you can see. So now, being able to hold the cross is really, really crucial. If we're able to just prevent either survivor running into the mid-map and getting that unhook, we will be able to force another stage onto Fatme. But we're just going to wait for our eruption here, get it all the way on this Gen 7. We have 3 gens here still to defend, only 1 top. I'm not too sure if Weary is going to be too concerned about that gen. Getting a 4k1 on this map is a good result for the killer, and we do still have that 3 gen. As you can see, Benny is still on 1. It will be popping very, very shortly, and as long as we can deny the unhook for as long as possible by finding Cahill, which we do, exactly, Weary getting the swing bedded out by the SD. I mean, this is now where the game goes from looking really good for the survivors to really bad. Getting it down quickly onto Cahill if he's unable to trade would be very problematic. As a little consolidation, though, this is our Delhi survivor. I think the trade will be coming in just in time. Actually, it's not going to. That's Cahill on the ground. I mean, look as well. We have Benny here. He didn't even pop the gen. Have we spotted him out? We haven't. Oh my word, Tavi. But we know now.
He gets by with that, and now the survivor situations is just much better. It's not scrambling with 1 survivor up. They don't have to play off the deliverance pick, and now they can just completely reset here. That is a huge turn for our survivors, because that is pretty much the other main building generator done. So with Cahill not having many resources around here, it does still have to last. This pallet is still up, so potential for some chase in this. However, it's not the safest. Weary is just gonna pull Cahill out of the locker. That's gonna secure the next stage. But I'm surprised that I'm really surprised that Oppenheimer got out of that, because number one, I think that sprint burst was a little bit of a mistake. I feel like they should have just sprint burst right to the pallet. Oh, Benny's actually taking a really nice micro decision here, kind of like forcing, baiting the blight away from it and away from the hook, and then popping the gen 99. But yeah, I feel like the spin burst should have just been straight towards the hook, because after you drop that pallet gem, like, you kind of zone. If you get 2 rushed or M1, you cannot make the pull, and Benny had to go in and risk their own life to try and recover it, which very luckily they did. And Fatme seems to go down now. I don't think he's got anything to play with. No, the dead hard does not come in time, so it will just go down on the same place, and our survivors cannot really do much but just just look, because this situation as a blight is so good. Like, these 3 gens are just so easy to defend on the killer as blight, and he's also removed a lot of the resources from the map, and it seems like Weary just wants to zone away Fatme from the top side of the map, so just wants to get the tunnel out secured, but doesn't know that Dead Hard and Slight Strike are in play for the survivor, so things could go wrong fairly quickly for Weary if this chase is committed, which it seems like they will. Weary is committing, wants to go for the rushes, but oh, misses the rush! The corner tech kind of works out for Fatme, and they can make it further towards the map, but they just want to play out the window, kind of realizing there's no other resources here. Maybe we'll force the locker, but will not get that down in time. And look at the bait. Benny and Cahill are both doubling the gen, and now Fatme hits a decisive strike. And Weary is realizing the mistake that's come through. Do you commit the survivor that's, 2 stages, or do you go back to the gen that's already popped in time? And suddenly Oppenheimer have got all the generators done. Pellet stun comes through by Benny, who is the only fresh in the trial right now. And if Weary decides to commit this, then there's a problem. Now you allow 3 stages out the door, which you're looking at 4K1 just a little bit ago. And I mean, I would assume that's the best scenario for Weary to take. But Benny is going to make that as difficult as possible, maybe trying to force the... Wait a minute, hold on, they're 2 bottom gates! Chief, they're 2 bottom gates, oh my god.
Oh my word. Oh, but Weary isn't able to connect that rush. If we can last these 5 rushes, we can get the outs. We do last for all 5, which isn't obviously gonna mean much. We do get our fresh hook if we are Weary, but look, the gate is open. We're not able to disrupt it. We will be able to just take this. I'm not too sure what our survivor's gonna do. Look, we're both at the gate. We're 99. I'm sure we're just taking the outs. We do not have enough time to reset. Look, we do have Benny all the way in basement. That means this is going to be, what, 9 stages, 4 fresh? Honestly, considering this was looking to be a 4K1 for most of this game in that 3v1, I would be so...
That is a very good point that you bring up there, that boosted is not available, because that was pretty much a lot of the advantage, I'd say, that Forsaken has in Season 5. Just boosted is such an asset on the team. I've seen one chase from boosted, one singular nurse chase from boosted, and I am convinced that he is one of the most badass players on Adam Francis that you will ever meet in Oceania. That being said, though, he's kind of been a little bit on and off from what I remember. So him being actually playing the game is like, oh, it is valuable, and him not being here is yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than what I originally expected for Forsaken. 9 stages, though, again, they need to get 9 stage 3 fresh, so get 1 fresh out the door. Or they can get 8 stages, which on SEA ping should be pretty difficult. And with Benny Killer, very, very difficult. So, what is their plan? We will see. Got good stealthing at the start. Amore is kind of just chilling in Shack, and yeah, Bang as well. Also, I kind of forgot Bang was on the Survivor squad too. Bang is crazy at the game as well, but without boosted, still I do have a bit of doubt for the current win condition. Luckily though, I will say I think I saw a ruin like right there, so Spiders did get a favorable ruin spot, and Bang does get I think that was Bang anyway, got a nice stun here on the edge map. So. Not giving away attack early is of course good against Blight, and you know, if you can force out the rushes as well, that would be a very good start. No, this is not Bang at all. This is the wrong gender. This is Amore getting the champion blind and continuing this chase around. But now suddenly he's run out of resources. So yeah, Benny's just gonna M1 this and force the chase on. I think this first chase has been pretty good. I don't know if they will try and double a gen to get it done. I mean, mid is a little bit too close to try and double at this point. So they're just going for the triple split on top side, which is a pretty good choice, I would say so myself. Oh, unfortunate rush for Benny. Actually, he gets the last second fatigue rush, and Moisa with the pallet, so this is a nice little first chase. Oh, first chase here, Chief, and somehow Amore is still alive on ping.
Yeah, I mean, Amore has played this very, very well. Unfortunately, Benny wasn't able to get one of those M1 tags through the pallet, so Amore has done just enough. I think Benny greeted a little bit too much for that M1 tag, playing for that 2-tap, being able to conserve all the rushes. We did see Amore just take a pretty decent tag to that filler. He then won it, was able to make Shaq, so did exactly what he needed to do, and look at those gens. That's already one popped on the top side. I'm sure December's is about to pop any second now, but what is a little problematic is I think we might have a really tight 4-gen in the mid-map. I'm not too sure if one of those gens has been popped. We might have just managed that by popping 3. I think we did, Tavi, so that 4-gen is no longer existent, but we did have that bot mid-gen, the mid 4-gen, and I think we had 3 and 8 as well. So those gens can be pretty problematic because you do not want to be dying in the middle of the map. But nevertheless, those gens are gone. Sorry, I apologize. But yeah, we do have them all back in chase, Tavi. We have 2 gens done. I am not doubting that after that start, we will be able to see Forsaken do this.
Yeah, I mean, Amore is, or Amare, I will say Amore, but they're kind of just playing 50s on the pallet. They do go down, it's unfortunate there, and not really the death spot I think I'm looking for, because they're trying to make it a little bit further topside, but Benny managed to get the V1 tech off. Oh, the decisive strike! Oh my gosh, and now Amor suddenly makes the topside. There's a pillar here, and now Benny needs to get this down fairly soon, because he knows the gens are pumping, knows that if Amor makes this, hits the dead hard 2, will get all the way up the map. Look how much distance there is. Now suddenly there's another survivor here. Bang! What are you doing here, little bro? But he's kind of like, you know, just playing out altruistically, kind of like maybe confusing Benny a bit, and might even take a hit here around main building, and that looks like the play. He wants to try and force the chase to be longer. Not a play that I see often, but if Amor can just keep the distance around main, it's going to force the break from Benny. Perhaps there are some more safe pallets that they can make around here. Main is pumping, sure, but Benny doesn't really want to go and switch the tunnel out. Tries the flick around, but it's not going to be enough, and that was, I believe, a bottom gen popping here, and Amor does lose the pallet finally. There's so much time being brought, and that was with one health state from Bang and a decisive and dead hard used. So that is like peak usage of resources. I'm not sure about Bang's hit tank, but that was still really, really good nevertheless. And this death spot is so good for our survivors now. I thought my computer crashed. It's so good for survivors now because they can just pressure these bottom gens really efficiently and not have to worry about the Blight camping the hook and also defending generators at the same time.
Yeah, no, you are 100% right, Harvey. The only problem now is that we did catch out Bang. He's all the way at Shack. We know the pallet isn't here, working this bot mid-gen, but we aren't going to be able to convert the rushes into a down. We are scared of the unhook coming out in the background, and to Benny's dismay, it's already happened. This will be Amor's third and final chase of the game. If he's able to last now, it would be beautiful. We know that he doesn't have a lot to work around. He does have this pallet at main. I'm sure we're not going to let him make that pallet at 11. You have the rushes in hand. Amor with the delayed vault, losing that 50 is already back on the ground. No dead hard or decisive strike to buy him any extra time in this one, so that will just be the death at 2. December's gen, though, in the background is worrying. I'm sure it's one of those gens on the bottom side of the map. It is so close to popping, and look at that. It is at 7, and bot mid is pretty high as well. The only issue the survivors are going to have now with all of this progress is that Bang may get caught out, and if he does, the Ruin is going to eat away at his gen. Look at that, we've had to rotate off 7 as well. We're trying to not get found in these two gens, but with all this progress slowly being lost, Ruin is starting to be a little problematic. We really need to get that down if we want to get these gens whilst we are stuck at the bottom. December unfortunately has to take that tag at 7, but has overcome to make it all the way to mid. We did only use 2 rushes on the side of Benny, so we will have those back very shortly to last. And look at that, Bang is also here. The chase has been transferred onto him, and now he's slammed on the ground. And we're just gonna slug this Tavi. We see that December is all the way at 8 once more. This could get problematic, and the blood is back. Oh,
You
beautiful.
just swing through the pallets, and that's how you get the downs. Who cares about respecting pallets? Who cares about enduring? Just swing through that shit, and you will get the down. On ping, of course, but that's very unfortunate for Forsaken, because that means that they have the hook in the gen setup of the map, and well, one of the gen setups anyway, but that's like the higher progress gen setup that they have, and that's a really big deal, because if they want to reset here, the Ruin will keep on regressing the generators at 150%, as you were saying before, 150% of the original regression speed, which is 25%. So if you want to do some quick math, that is 37.5%. But Bang manages to get the stun here. I believe Bang is actually SCA, so I will have to check my book on that. But getting the stun there is really huge. Benny does know there's no DH, and we'll just swing there. But there's actually opting to slug this, trying to interrupt the generators again. Maybe they can catch out of Ruin, which, in my opinion, Chief, is kind of like being positive, like a good thing and a bad thing at the same time in the trial. Like, the survivors saw the Ruin. There's no way that Forsaken survivors missed the Ruin there, but they just decided not to cleanse it and just leave it there and just not have to deal with eruption. I would assume that's the case. And then with not cleansing that, they've also kind of completely negated Ruin's effect in this trial, and now Benny is heading back to the slug because it's been fully reset already, thanks to, I believe that was the rest of Weary's medkit being used. So now Benny's kind of lost all that pressure, gambled it on trying to find December, but December stealthed away really nicely. Doesn't have the sprint burst, obviously, but still enough. And Weary is going to have to take the next chase. Does dodge that blighted corruption rush, and that's huge because he's going to have to recharge again. Weary wins the 50s on ping, but I don't know if they make the vault. It's SEA ping, and they will go for the double vault, and that's not a good thing to take. So this chase might not last that much longer, but look at that. Benny's out and gone already. Really nice chase from Weary. And this gen setup is just very, very worrying. You know, you can't find anyone. The gens are pumping. Ruined, you can't kick them. You can't get eruption on them. So they only regress at 37.5% speed. You can't do anything about it except just like babysit it and hope that someone, shows up.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, December's stealth earlier was absolutely decisive. Him being found there would have all but guaranteed this 4K2. We have little pressure on the top side of the map in regards to generators, and we did know 2 survivors were there, and I think Bang might have just been spotted. He wasn't?
No
So
way.
we've managed to elude Benny's eyes just right in front of him, and that's going to mean Bang is going to be able to get on one of these gens. We know that Weary is somewhere topside. He had a gen that was pumping, and now he's in chase. In the background, though, Ruin is being cleansed finally by Bang. We have this gen all the way at 7, which is going to pop, and you are right, Tavi, we are picking Delhi. This is such a good situation for our survivors. Ruin is finally gone. We can't be plagued by it any longer. Delhi on hook as well, but it's not all lost for Benny. We do now have access to pop. That gen at 7 is going to be feeling real bad real soon. Never mind, it's been popped in our face. We're going to try convert a rush onto Bang here. Actually, we might know December is here, but we do double bump on that rock, so we are going to fatigue. December will take the tag anyways, unable to make anything other than the broken shack pallet. We have overcome to make it all the way to 5, but we know there are no pallets here. This is exactly where our first chase was, so there should be a quick 2-tap onto December. It is indeed. There is no unbreak to play around. Weary is back on his feet. Janet Main is worrying, but I mean, hey, he's not going to be able to pop it in time. He is still broken. Bang's already rotating bottom to get this pickup, and if Weary is found, the game is all but lost. We won't find him in time, though, and look at that. Pop has just run out. We don't get to stop this gen being as high progress as it is, but we do have eruption on it now, and look at that. We found Weary. If we're getting this down now, I mean, the game is going to be really bad. Weary's chase is crucial. December and Bang better be hustling their asses onto that gen all the way on the bottom side, doubling it for as long as possible. Weary needs to last now, and look at this. He won 150 already. He's off to the races in main. Got some resources from 1 to 3 to play around, including the main building itself. We know that Paladin 11 is still up. He's able to make it, but these rushes from Benny will convert. That means Weary is on the ground. That chase was not long enough for that gen bottom to pop. I'm getting really worried. Tavi, look at that progress. If we're found out now, December or Bang, either of them on the ground from this position would be so dire.
And I swear that gen was at 50%, but Ruin must have eaten it away to such a point where it could not be progressed to completion at this current moment. And now Benny is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna kick this shit, bro. And applies the eruption, gets the pop as well, and that is really, really bad news for our survivors because Weary's hook is like in fairly close proximity to the generator. It's like 1 to 2 rushes away. Okay, not 1 rush, 2 to 3 rushes away, and it's like, also in a very open location. You can't really stealth around there. And if you send in December to do the generator and send in the healthy to stealth, then you can't really stealth on the generator, and Benny can perhaps just, take the time and, chase December around here, force the down to come through. I hope December forces the locker here. It should be the correct play. But, now main is like what you want to go for, but look at that. It's only on 40% now. You pop. So just the eruption kick and the base regression has gone and eaten away at the generator to a huge amount, and then the same problem now kind of applies, but I guess this hook's in basement, so it might be a little bit easier for our survivors on the main building to make the split here. But now Weary's death hook, and there's not really much room to wiggle anymore because Benny's already got 7 stages, so Bang literally cannot be found at this point. Weary gets swung through the pallets, and Benny looks like it's going to secure this 4K1. Oh, and also Bang is found. So that is a really clean set of line play by Benny. Don't really think there were too many mistakes. It was just like a really nice tunnel out. The survivors played really well, but it just was not enough, I think.
I think the only thing that really could have done better for Forsaken Harvey was if they were able to get Ruin out of the trial a little bit quicker. We do see Bang winning that 50. My word, I cannot believe he's managed to do that on the ping, but he will be down very shortly. That will be forfeit unsecured for Benny as he submits to his fate in the corner. No unbreaken hand. This will be the final fresh. No penalty for that to be seen, and Bang on the hook, Weary on the ground, 4K1 Harvey. That is the first set to Oppenheimer. Benny has done just enough. But yeah, like I was saying, I do think that really did just come down to Ruin. I think if we were able to get that out of the trial a little bit earlier, that gen at 7 probably would have popped. We didn't have to worry about all that regression. We had to slug to make sure it didn't pop, which means we would have had no pop goes the Weasel to prevent all of the progress. And yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing I have to point out, right? I think the early game from our survivors right now, Forsaken, was probably a bit better than what we saw from Oppenheimer there.
Micro to play, it still is a different set to something as simple as Doctor, something as simple. Actually, okay, Bubba DDS is a little bit more complicated, so let me leave that one out. But like Wraith DDS is a lot more simple. Doctor Wretched Shop, pretty simple as well. We also used to have Clown. Actually, no, we still have Clown, right? But that was on, we've had Clown on separate maps. So that's always pretty simple. Also Demo, very simple sets. And yeah, we don't really see them picked that often. It's more towards what the killers like playing as well, where we have a lot of players who like Wesker. You can get clips on Blight, you can get clips on Oni. Is a 1v1 killer, and then you can start getting clips on later. And I guess maybe that's just why the sets are popular. But set of Doctor, maybe it throws Forsaken a bit into a state of confusion. Maybe it won't be as prepared for this set as we do load in. I only expect some great Doctor gameplay. Chief, one little thing before I pass the floor to you. I think I heard somewhere that like the Russian DVD like 1v1 or like just Russian DVD community has like a really strong opinion on like Doctor and like chase potential of Doctor. Is it like, would you say that Doctor is like a killer that's been like quote unquote solved in the chase aspect, or is there still, you know, outplay potential on survivor side and killer side?
No, that's a really good question, Harvey, and I do think it's really interesting because I do think you're kind of right. I think there isn't much left. I'm not too sure what side our Russian brethren believe in, but I do think Doctor's a pretty solid set, saying that Weary has taken a pretty early tag for a Doctor set. Luckily, we have Coal Tower main to work around. If you guys aren't familiar, this is Coal Tower 2. Things will look a little bit funny. This main building is all the way at 2, so bear with us as we get adjusted. I mean, this chase is where you need it to be, Tavi, luckily for Weary, but I mean, I don't think he'll be lasting too much longer. He's going to get zapped before he makes his pallet. We're going to have to play around it and just make sure we don't get down, but Rapid gave us just enough time. Oh my word! Bane getting that perfectly timed body block, just a second too soon. Sorry, not a second too soon, but not for much. Weary's back on the ground. He was unable to vault the window, had to walk back into the door, and because of Rapid brutality, we didn't get anywhere near as much distance as we were hoping. That is the first chase for another tag, giving us not much extra. I mean, all things considered, Tavi, I think it's a pretty good start for Ray. Getting that down pretty early is very good. No gens have popped. We're able to disrupt the mid-gen. Unfortunately, no eruption. We're going for a more standard Doctor build, just playing full chase, deny the hit tanks as well with the Sloppy Butcher, which means, once again, no eruption to work with. We have kicked that gen just for base regression, but I mean, hey, you know, at the end of the day, this is still a strong position either way.
Yeah, I think you might have remembered last week a bit of the tragedies that happened on the Oppenheimer Kaido Kids Doctor set. That was like one of the definitions of a roller coaster, bro. That Doctor set was crazy. But like, Now I think it's a lot more straightforward. Vey got a pretty early fast first down, and Bang also got tagged in the process, which is a pretty big deal. I do like the fact that that Oppenheimer is not resetting Bang. Probably just wants to wait out the Sloppy Butcher, would be my guess. But it is a very, very strong build for Ray, I think, with the first down coming through. So now second stage is going to be secured somehow. Somehow Forsaken do not have a... Wait, I said, okay. I meant Forsaken before on this 5 side, whatever. Forsaken have not finished a generator yet, and they also give away the eye filler to around Shack, and Ray looks like a little bit indecisive. Does go back to the hook though after chasing a more off the generator, and this is do or die at this point. One of the main differences between Wretched Shop and Cold Tower 2 is the amount of, I guess, what should I say? I guess consistency on the maps. Like, I think Azov is like a pretty stock standard, like, what do you call it? Like, consistent map. Like, just the realm in general is fairly consistent. Maybe like jungle gym spawning could be a game changer for the sides, but like, this map, you could get like 2 eye fillers. You could get a lot more fillers than what we're seeing right now from our Survive side of Forsaken. But you can also get, you know, what they're getting now, which is not really that much to play with, it seems, anyway. And Ray's just going to exploit that and take another free hook on the edge map. So Bang called out before with that sloppy tag not being able to reset. Means that there is just a few issues for Forsaken. They're trying to reset Weary here. I think it will come out. No, it's going to be found. Okay. So, yeah, this is Problems Team Chief.
Yeah, I mean, look, Weary did get reset, fortunately for him, so he does have 2 health states to work with in this chase, but, I mean, it's not really a good spot to be in overall. We have both of our other survivors injured. Weary did just take that tag all the way in mid. Bang is on the hook. I'm sure we're sitting gen. We can't really afford to let anything go by. This could be a high gen 4K if we aren't too careful. Now, Weary really needs to put on a generational chase at this point, but a beautiful zap from Ray does deny him the pallet once more. Yet another one to make sure we are able to get cut off. We did just see the killer's red stain on Bang, a little spectator bug suggesting that he was on the corner, walking right into Ray. So that is Weary exiting the trial at 3 generated. Definitely not what you want to be seeing. I think it's kind of really does go back to the situation we were in for that first chase, Tavi, and I want to point out how detrimental that whole situation ended up being, because I think what happened with a lot of OC teams, and I think what we just saw Forsaken do, was as soon as that first down happened and it was hooked mid, we weren't able to have the chase last, we didn't get a gen to pop, we started panicking. Also, my word, everyone was just back main, we know where everybody is, no one's on a gen, everyone was just resetting, and look at this, someone's already back in chase. The 3v1 did not give us much time to work around. Bang is just ate a goddamn hook. This could just be a 2-tap because of that. That is definitely not what you want to be seeing from the old man Bang, but look, this is looking really bad, Tavi. I don't even know what much to tell you at this point. The start was pretty bad, not popping a gen for the second stage, getting pressured off it, forcing the reset through this sloppy. I mean, I don't know where you go from here. Maybe you pop another, but you can't give anything up for free anymore. December has already been found. I don't know what you do, Tavi. This is looking really bad.
Yeah, hidden S tier indeed. I guess Herman Carter is just too underappreciated in OC sets, so regardless, Ray performance here very, very strong. I think there were, again, I feel like there were a good amount of mishaps from our Survivor side, but, you know, it's Doctor, it's Ping, sometimes it's not really that avoidable, and Bang's going to be the next target. Right off hook, perhaps we'll make something safe, I don't know though, because they seem to not make the pallet. Okay, but Amor's here, try and secure a bit of safety onto Bang, but look at this, there's still 3 survivors in the trial. There's not 4, so I don't know how the hell they're gonna get a lot of pressure going. But Ray does not make that swing that could turn the favors kind of back into Forsaken, like, for a bit. Maybe they can get another gen done. Maybe they can get 2 gens done. Maybe they can get 3. I don't know. They, you know, potential kind of goes a lot. That Bang doesn't make the vault though, so he's gonna go down. But that was a pretty decent amount of time. And yeah, it's just like panic time for our survivors because they really did get at least one gen done here, but they just went for the reset, and Ray sees that on, on the HUD and visual confirmation, so he can just safely get the second kill of the game at 3 generators. And yeah, I don't know, man. Herman just somehow, I guess, no exhaustions makes the survivors feel like crap, and secures 2 kills just like that.
Yeah, I mean, having a 2v1 at this stage of the game against Doctor is definitely not the plan Forsaken had in mind. I mean, and oh my god, Amor's already back in chase. This is just like, this goes back to a point I made a fair bit earlier in the stream, right? In the 3v1, you really need to control the tempo of the game when you are on the survivors. You don't want to give anything away for free. You don't want to be going from chase to chase. You really need the downtime. You need to be able to play the game at your pace. And we've not been able to do that at all. I mean, look, Amor has just been dropped. He's having to snap out, having been shocked, and we're already on December and check. He's not going to be able to drop the pallet in time. That's a tag, a really bad tag, no less. You're stuck now at Shack with no pallet. You're basically gonna die at this point. I mean, Ray knows his timings on these shots, and look, that window vault's going to be denied. Even if he got the suction, Ray read it. But, I mean, that does buy December a little bit more time. He can't make that window vault, so he will most likely be going down, forcing all the way at edge 6 now. December on the ground. Amor's the only one standing, so... Oh my god. I feel really bad for Forsaken. This has definitely not been the game they wanted to play. This Doctor set, like we were saying, is like a pretty solved killer. You know, we were having this the conversation at the start of the game, and I didn't really get to finish my thoughts on it because of what was going on in the game. It's a solved set. The chases are solved. You know how to play around it. You know what the killer's power does to a T. You know the counterplay. Everyone does, and everyone knows what you need to do in the 4v1. You take those hits, you make people go to the strong resources, and you play around them and hold your distance. It's, once again, solved. But we weren't able to do that. And this is where I feel like OCE teams really need to, and I hate saying this as an OCE player myself, but I feel like we really need to step up. Because seeing 4K3s against a Doctor is not good. Truthfully, to be blunt, it's not good. It's not what you should be seeing. And it's a set where OCE has notoriously struggled. All of the region, every single player in this region at OCE has struggled on this set. So I don't really know what to say other than there's a lot we can learn from these SEA teams. Ray putting on an incredible performance tonight, and I'm sure Oppenheimer's survivors are gonna do just the same, so I wouldn't be too surprised, Tavi, if this will be a 2-0 for Oppenheimer. We can't count Forsaken out yet. They have some incredible players who could line up to play Survivor. We will be finding out very, very shortly. But look at this, and was also just having a little bit of a lovely chase to end us off. Unfortunately, December's gen is all the way at 0, and that is a vault which is going to catch us out. Amor's on the ground, going for a window tech. Did not get it off. His first hook of the trial, a pain res as well. December's injured, he's at main. We're not going to be alerted to this on the side of Ray just yet. December may be able to stealth, but with a static blast in the books, things could be really problematic if we are caught out. But look at that, December's just managed to avoid it.
Yeah, just by the skin of his teeth does he avoid that, but it's not going to last for much longer as Ray has managed to pinpoint his location. And it's just going to keep him here for a little bit. Wants to play the 50s, and December's going to jiggy away into oblivion and die. That is the truth of it. He's just going to die. And alongside that, I think also Forsaken's hopes for taking this set away, because a 4K3 is a ridiculous result, and I would not have expected to see anything like this pan out in a Div 1 showdown between two very respected teams.
For about 7 hours now, so my word, mighty fine stuff from you all in the audience. So as we do load in, it will be bang on the killer. Oppenheimer survivors are rearing and ready to go. Tavi is still here with me. How do we think this one's going to go, Tavi?
Well, Oppenheimer do have a certain 4K3 win condition to meet, so I think they are chilling in this current Doctor set. That being said, I would like to see some great gameplay coming out from them. Nevertheless, like, if Ben can get a 4K2, that is I would say, a very big statement for perhaps the other competitors heading into the PNB phase. But they're looping well. I think Cahill here will not be able to make the window vault from this location, so they'll just have to take the tag and continue this chase around. I do have to say and remark notice that Ben's build is exactly the same as what Ray decided to bring in the previous trial, which look, I do like both the builds, but I'm fairly surprised that like both of the builds are the same, considering that we do have the region difference between these players. That being said, though, Cahill doing a good job. We'll get a body block now, and Bang is not respecting it at all, just for the time being, as it is now taken. We'll just see how survivors want to play this out. Hanato gets down. Okay, then, Mr. Benny. And there still might actually be problems. Yeah, Bang's going for the slug. The jungle gym's still up, but it's not entirely safe yet, Chief. So, I mean, I think this is the correct play, I guess. Like, force the survivor to rotate in and, continue this chase.
Yeah, no, I do agree, Tavi. I think this is probably a bit of a heads-up play from Bang. He knows if he wants to meet the win con, he does need to get a bit sluggy, which is very hard to do on the Doctor, but he has managed to catch out Cahill's medium vault, just making in time. Bang caught a little off guard by that. Cahill's just going to last. And we did see that gen on the hill at 9 was raring to go. I'm assuming that was Fatme, who's now rotated to get the pick. No, actually, it wasn't. It was Ray on this gen at 9. That gen will be popping very shortly. We do know another gen is relatively high progress. Benny is still here at check. We see the head-on player here as well set up to protect him. We're actually trying to bait it out, but we get a bit cheeky there, not able to. Bang does vault right into Benny. The head-on will be coming out. It won't be coming out, so that is going to be Benny on the ground yet again. We've tried to take the hit, but we've not been able to. Fatme is just here now as well. We do get the window vault, but we're back side check. We do have rapid brutality on the side of the killer. We're not going to be able to make that window vault with the shock. This should be another tag onto Fatme. Benny on the ground, Cahill injured. Ray starting another oh, actually, sorry, we've popped 2. I didn't even realize. We've popped 2 generators. We're already at the Taikon Tavi.
Yeah, and I don't really know if Bang could do much about the win condition that was set. It's just an extremely difficult win condition for Bang to try and meet, and they nearly actually lost Benny here. I would have assumed it was tenacity, but they just crawled all the way, and that one tag on Fatme has bought a lot of time. So not feeling good, I think, Bang, but I do find it down eventually around the edge map, and I guess the trial is still playable at this point, but it needs to kill every survivor before one generator pops, which is a very difficult task, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be really tough, Tavi. You are right.
Yeah, it did kind of seem this way from the previous trial anyway. Like Forsaken, the survivor side just wasn't in for them this evening. Oh, okay, a little bit of a stumble there from Fatme, but yeah, it didn't really seem on the cards tonight for Forsaken Doctor set, but they're still giving a shot, and Bang will continue this chase. Kind of winning a 50 here. I mean, goes for the swing, but Cahill manages to make a pallet. So yeah, really nice looping here for Cahill, and we'll just continue this chase for Bang. Let's see what Cahill will do here. Oh, okay, so we're getting stuck on the pallet. Unfortunate, maybe control movement. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, just continuing this chase. Bang's gonna break this and probably leave, considering the distance around main building, but it's actually going for mind games a little bit before leaving, and does spot out 2 other survivors in the distance. Actually, no, this is just... Oh no, this is Yoichi. Okay, hello, second team captain, right? And we'll be throwing that pallet down, and yeah, seeing what we can do. And seems like, I guess, maybe you're right, Mr. Chief. Maybe you're right in saying that Doctor is a favorite SCA killer for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, look at the display we're seeing. 2 gens pop. We know that gen at 3 is also like 19. 9 Ray is going to snap out and be able to pop it very, very shortly, securing the win for Oppenheimer, might I add. So, well played to them. It is all but inevitable now. We do have Cahill here stuck on this filler, injured, but all things considered, this is a pretty strong filler against the Doctor. We have another connecting pallet to play back to. If Bang is able to get it down here, it would be beneficial for him. The game has already slipped out of his fingers with that gen popping. It is the win to Oppenheimer. They do take the set and the game, but at this point, you got to play for your best result. So, committing Cahill will be another fresh hook and a down, potentially a pain res as well if our hooks so deem it. But Cahill will be winning this 50 here on this pallet on main. We do get shocked, unable to vault, so Bang will be able to follow around. I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to make the tag. We do predict the vault, they'll win that 50, and that is Cahill on the ground. Benny was here to play protect the president, but not there in time. Oh, no, Ray is also right on by getting that flashlight save. That was beautifully timed. Cahill no longer being able to take that hook. That will still only be one in the trial. We see Yoichi still here around. We know that Benny is close by as well to protect our friend Cahill. That 4th gen has popped, and look, Benny will be here to take the tag. We greed the pallet once more. I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to get there in time. We do just in time, actually. Benny taking that hit, giving Cahill all that distance back to 1. We have the pallet main. We do also have the tile, but we've had the switch to Benny. I'm not too sure why this player has decided to come, and I think we're probably just a bit frustrated. Look at this. You see Fat Me running in to take a hit as well. Ray's probably on that final gen. We're just going to fake that vault, take the tag from Fat Me, and every survivor is... I mean, at this point, Tavi, who do you really want to chase, right? It feels so bad if you are Bang. It's like, no matter who you chase, no matter what you're doing, it's feeling like you're losing something.
Yeah, and it's just not enough pressure throughout the trial. Those 2 gens popped at the start allows these aggressive altruistic plays to just work, I guess. And we even see Ray just around here just playing loop with friends as the head-on comes through from Fatmi. Little funny play there, but I don't think this is all necessary at all. They could have just allowed, I think they could have just allowed Cahill to take a chase and play this out, but I think Bang gonna secure this down finally. No flashlight save available, and it's even looking around just to make sure. But yeah, like, I guess they were just playing for, like, best result. I mean, it still seems a little bit silly to me that this ended 2 more survivors, but, you know, a win's a win, and they still actually get out of the situation fairly well. Like, Cahill took a tag, sure. Actually, Cahill was already injured, so I would say Benny took 2 tags, I guess, for Cahill, and also Fatme took 1, got a head on 2. But it's not really going to make too much of a difference, because injured survivors can still escape the trial, and they don't have to be healthy to do that. So Benny is just going to sit on the hook for the time being. That's the last gen popping, and yeah, I guess very, very nice performance from our survivors of Oppenheimer here. I do think that Bang was between a rock and a hard place, though. We're just talking about a rock and a hard place while we're looping a filler that coincidentally has 2 rocks and a tree, in which the tree is the thing between the hard places. But you know, it was going to be a difficult trial from what we saw in the first half. So okay, Hill's going to go down and probably secures a 5-stage performance, which is, you know, can't even blame him at that point, since 2 generators did like pop very, very early on. So yeah, really well played to Oppenheimer. They're going to take 2-0. That's another victory for them. So they're looking pretty solid in the current bracket. Let me just check very quickly. Oppenheimer, yeah, they're going to be 1-1-1. So not kind of just average at the moment, but I guess their fortune might change in the later weeks.
Yeah, for sure, Tavi. I mean, it goes to show, right? Look at the performance they put on tonight. They looked so dominant. This team is only collecting their first win of the season tonight. If that doesn't show the quality we have in OSL, I don't know what does. The league is looking more competitive than ever. We see Cahill there to get the stun for Fatme, trying to deny as many stages for Bang. Still in this end game, even though it is all for nothing, the game is already won. We are just trying to get the best possible result on either side at this point. But yeah, I mean, once again, if it doesn't go to show the strength of the teams overall that we now have in OSL, I don't know what does. I mean, this was a beautiful performance from Oppenheimer, and once again, it's only their first win of the season, and I can only presume it's only up from here. Lovely, lovely stuff tonight. Lovely stuff all season, honestly. I feel like a lot of their games have been really, really difficult. We did just body block Benny there. He is on the ground, and that will be another stage tonight. We go for the Mori. We aren't able to get it. We might be letting him now. We're not. We're going to Mori him on the final frame, and that is, I believe, 4 stages, 2 fresh, 4 bang. Another 4-stage result from Oppenheimer survivors on the Doctor. Once again,